So yeah, if you want to go over focused first, that's fine because I got some thoughts on the good old focus crowns.
Yeah, I very much think that we start with the focused because that's where we
Yeah.
can start screaming at people. So it looks like we got one person here. There we go. Lovely. Let's go to live chat so I can actually see what's going on.
I'm trying to think. The boys on the Gambit solo base actually did the math on how much currency it would actually, he said in total dollars, if you wanted to upgrade all four of these focused Datacrons, he said it was like $2,000.
How, 2 grand?
Yep.
Dude, oh my god, I can't even imagine. I cannot imagine spending 2 grand on Datacrons.
No, for something that's going to last 4 months, that's why I think they're going to have to lower the price on some of this stuff. Because, like, honestly, even where I play, I mean, I'm at the ass end of Kyber 2 and the Kyber 1. I'm not going to be seeing a lot of these things. I mean, I might see a few at level 5 or 6, maybe 7, but I feel like if somebody goes full bore on one of these, you're going to miss out. And when a new set hits, that's when you want to try to get as much quality and as many of them as you possibly can. You focus on those focused ones, you're going to short yourself for GAC.
Yeah, it's funny. My opponent, so he's 15.1, so I'm pretty sure I'm screwed. But he has the Oppo one, but then he bought the Aphra and bought the Boba Fett signed Jango, but has no materials for them.
Okay. Now the Apocron, as long as you get him to 7-star before the marquee event ends, you get that crown, right?
Yeah. Like
okay,
I could still go whale if I wanted to. I could go whale on him and get that Datacron for GAC or for another season.
I just see no point in putting Apple or any of these clones to 7 or to 7 out of the gate right now because again, this is going to be an incomplete team till we get everybody.
Yeah, I like it. I like Appo so far in the concept that it's finally doing what Lord Vader should.
Mm-hmm.
And what I really like about it is that you have to go through Lord Vader first. Because I feel like one of the biggest things with this team was I could ignore him because he takes forever to kill. But you could ignore him, kill everybody else on the team because there's no other damage going on. So it's just him. And now, dude, like Oppo and the Nightfall Trooper are freaking wrecking house at you while you're trying to blast your way through Lord Vader.
Mm-hmm. I'm just rereading his Kron. That actually is really good. Jesus Christ.
Chat, what's going on, guys? Good to see everybody in the chat here. It's like Logan and I were like, we may as well just go live. It'd be
that's fine.
The same. The other thing with these focused ones that I gotta say, because I know we'll get there. We haven't officially started, so we're still in like the pre-gaming. But how much critical chance do we need on these focused Datacrons, man? Like, I'm reading them and I'm like, I could get some really good stats. These like 75% critical chance, and I just wanted to like throw my phone across the room.
I think it's a little excessive, but I think especially with Scion of Jango, with Fennec just doing that many critical hits and how much damage she's going to do, that's just going to melt people. Let me grab a quick beverage. I'll be right back.
Absolutely. So they're fixing it. Yeah, teacher, it's definitely I don't want to say it's broken if you're using it. It's just not operating to the fullest extent. Right now it's you just can't have other units with it right now, is from my understanding. But it's still, if you bring just Lord Vader and Oppo, it works. So I'm not too bent out of shape yet, especially because I don't have it yet, so I don't freaking care. But yeah, it's absolutely a little bit broken right now.
All right, ready to roll.
All right. So we are here with Old Man Logan again. He's joining us again. We've got a new Datacron set. We've, I think, compiled our thoughts on these focused Datacrons. Want to talk about Oppo and kind of give you guys the instruction. All right, here's the Datacrons to focus on, level 3, 6, 9. Talk about the stats, and then, of course, like, are these focused Datacrons even worth it? So, Logan, how you doing tonight, man?
Good. I have no complaints. Thank you again for having me on. I've very much enjoy this. You and I kind of beat our heads up against the wall whenever a new set comes out, and at least try to point people in the right direction who may, very much engage in Datacrons or maybe just dabble a little. So if we can point people in the right direction, I feel like we've done our job.
Absolutely. So I think we want to start with the focused Datacrons.
Yes.
Give me your just God's honest thoughts on what you think.
God honest thoughts on what I think. Well, I want to. This is tip of the spear whale food. That's pretty much what I think this is. I do tend to listen to the Gambit podcast from time to time, and they were on just recently talking about these focused Datacrons, and Solo Base had done the math. And if somebody wanted to whale out, not go through Conquest, but unlock all 4 of these to level 15, he said it would cost, I think, don't quote me on it, but he said somewhere in the realm of $2,000.
Oh my God.
So that is and that's for something that's going to last for 4 months. So that's just absolutely obscene. Now, I did buy 2 of them. I did start leveling up. Let's see. I bought Scion of Jango and I bought Aphra. Aphra, I got to level 4. Okay. I mean, level 5, and here's just some context. So at level 5, I already need that. I need 75 Acumen Mark 1s and 50 of the Mark 2s at level 5. At 5.
And those Mark 2s, the Mark 2s, by the way, I just want to go on. Those are the hardest things to get in this game because they're not, you can't buy them with Shard Shop currency. That is outside of the data cache. Mark II currency is the bane of my existence.
Yep. And the second you get into Conquest, you have to haul ass to Sector 4.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if you can see this. Like, look at this. I've got 50 in the purple set, 1,000 of the Mark 1, 300 of the Mark 3. Like, you can't get enough of them. It's impossible.
You can't. And then, you're trying to do as many missions in the treasure node of Sector 4 as humanly possible.
Yeah.
It's like you live in the end of Sector 4.
And then on top of that, you're like, oh, well, I've at least got to get a couple of those Datacrons out of the Bad Batch node because God on high forbid you get bad RNG there.
Yep. So for the level 15 to get any of these focused Datacrons, you need 150 of the Mark 3s. Yep, 150.
My God.
It's a lot, man. And the date and let's see, with the data cache to unlock one at level 15, 4 million. Yep. So here's what I think, honestly, when it comes to focused Datacrons. Do I like the concept? Yes, I do very much like the fact that you can look at these and go, okay, this one's got decent stats. This one's got a good level 6. This one's got a really good level 9. I'm digging level 12. And then, you obviously, what you see is what you get. You're not, there's no RNG factor to the secondaries.
Yes.
My concern with these is I would tell players that want to dabble in this to tread very carefully because the cost of one of these potentially could cost you, with the data cache at 4 million and then level 14, 3.75, 3.5 at 13. Level 12, 3.25. You're losing 4 or 5 level 9s for one of these.
Yes.
At least. I'm just doing spitballing math off the top of my head.
And you've got to think too, like before you even get to the extortionate cost that it takes to upgrade them.
It's outrageous.
But it's like, I think it's a crime that they're episode currency. And like 10,000 at that, I feel is extortion at this point, because it's they create. This is at least the way I see it. They created this episode store, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna put in all the rewards, that you would get from galactic challenges."
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was the whole idea. Was like, here's all the stuff you get from galactic challenges. When the hell did you ever get Datacrons from galactic challenges?
You didn't.
And so my issue with adding them to the store is, one, it's complete food for players who, like myself, who buy the episode pass. So like, I can't complain and say, oh, I buy the episode pass. So like, I'm looking at it from the perspective that I'm at least in a position to whale on these things if I wanted to. But the reward structure, if you're not buying the episode pass, you're basically never going to be able to afford one of these and buy the Omicrons and the mod stuff that you would need.
No, there's no way. Even after buying 2 of these, I started to notice a bit of a crunch in my currency. I was able to buy, because in that store, I'm very strict about what I purchase. It's Omicrons and mod material, and that is it. I don't buy any of the pre-done mods there, because I farm mods every day, so there's no need for that. So yeah, but then you add these. Now, granted, this is 4 months, so this is a one-time purchase.
Yep.
So later on, eventually, you're gonna replenish. Now they did increase the cap to 100 million in data cash, which is good.
Yeah.
But did they increase the cap for episode currency?
They did. It's 100K now. It is 100K.
Okay.
So that you can get more. But still, I feel like they should have added extra points in the episode track to both the paid track and the free to play, because most players are never going to purchase or like put one of those focused Datacrons in the free track and put 2 of them or something in the reward track. If you want people to try and interact with these things, you've got to give them to us, because most players are not going to buy them, and again, the ones who do are already wailing on Datacrons as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you're not capturing the group of players that you want with this.
No, again, this is for the whales. I mean, even where I play at the end of Kyber 2 into Kyber 1, I don't think I'm gonna. Will I see maybe a couple at level 6, level 7? But I think as some players, especially the whales, as they start pumping more levels into these things, and they start to see how expensive they are, it's gonna make you think, do I really want to go through this? Now, the flip side to that coin is, if you don't do these early and you wait, then it's almost like diminished. It's almost like a diminished return. So they're only active for 4 months. So let's say you wait 2-3 weeks. That's 2-3 weeks less time that you have to utilize these things. So it's a double-edged sword. It really is. It's either you want to do it or you don't. I'm going to dabble. I don't know if I'm going to bring one of these to 15. I'm going to do some testing with Aphra, because as we'll go over, that is pretty much going to be a designated Jabba killer for the next 4 months.
Yeah.
Boba Fett, Scion of Jango, is going to be able to do a lot of good stuff, and I've got a couple thoughts on the other 2 as well.
But here's a question with the Aphra one, right? I know it's going to be active for a lot longer, but the purple set here, if I go to mine, I've got the HK-47 Cron.
Mm-hmm.
That basically is Aphra's Cron. 15% turn meter, the droid stuff. Like, at that point, what are we do? Why does Aphra need a Cron? And I don't know, and I may be getting ahead of myself with this, but like the level 3 on the Aphra Cron, maybe that's where we head next as we look at this. Why is it for Chrysanthemum? Like, I will never take Chrysanthemum away from Jabba. You know what I mean? Like, even though it's here, when are you ever taking him away from Jabba?
Well, here's a theory, and I thought about this. So bear with me. Here's a theory. I'm actually in one round, definitely more than likely in 5v5. I'm gonna try that. I'm actually gonna try, because I think this level 3 shouts out to just pretty much 5v5. So I'm gonna try putting Chrysanthemum on Aphra just to kind of see what it does. And here's the reasoning behind that. So at this point, if anybody invests a little bit in these, or with the last one, Jabba is counterable, even with the thermal detonator nonsense with the what's her face, the other character that nobody had into Relics,
Mob Enforcer.
The Mob Enforcer. So Jabba, I feel like, is just going to become a complete offensive team for a while, and if that's the case, you want it hitting fast, you want it hitting quick. So why not trade out Gamorrean Guard, put him in as your designated tank, and then experiment, throw Chrysanthemum with Aphra and see if you get any better results.
It's not an awful thought. I that's where my mind was going. I still like Jabba on defense because I feel like there's every once in a while someone messes up.
He does, and you are right about that. But I will say, Jabba on offense can solve some issues. Like, you can run into a team and go, "Oh, I'll just Jabba that shit."
Well, and it's funny right now with Jabba too, because I don't even use Aphra against him. I've been using
people are still Night Sisters and
I'm using the smugglers, the smuggler evasion cron.
Okay.
Because I know everybody loves to use that against Ahsoka. That's what, like, the Beskar Mermando, but you're gonna get 55 banners at best out of that counter if it works.
Yeah.
I can get 64, 65 against Jabba with the smugglers. And I don't have to take Beskar Mermando away from Bo-Katan. And so at that point, I can go use a character, a Leia against, Ahsoka, and I don't have to friggin' worry about Jabba at that point. You know what I mean? Like, and I talked about that today, but I was just thinking about that with Jabba. Like, I don't know that I need an Datacron, but I gotta say, I love the level 6.
Oh my God. The fact that you can, and that's another thing why this is just so anti-Jabba, because once you take out Bougie Leia, that's a wrap.
Game, set, match.
Yeah.
Like, it's
done.
over.
And if you can just focus her down, because again, Aphra's always going to get the first turn, and then the droids start doing their thing, and then they start, terrorizing everybody. And even, I really wish they'd switched level 9 and 12. I love 12. The first time each dark side ally reaches 90, 70, or 50% health and inflict doubt on a random enemy that doesn't have it for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled or prevented. That is obscenely good.
Dude, I'm reading the level 15 because I hadn't read level 15 yet.
Oh, it's gross.
Aphra can't be targeted by enemies. If there are active dark side droids and she revives all dark side scoundrel allies when she uses dangerous tech, Aphra Chrysanthemum are immune to thermal detonators. Holy shit! I had not read that before.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a destruction of Jabba call out.
Yeah,
so if you happen to be in a GAC match and you scout your opponent and they just so happen to have spent a big fat wad of cash and they've got a level 15 Aphra, well, you're not putting Jabba on defense at that point.
Yeah, that's crazy. But again, if somebody's willing to spend that kind of money, who am I to stop you? You know what I mean? Like, have at it.
Well, it's like, I know the store had packs for you to kind of get a jump on some of these crons early, and I'm sure probably a lot of people might have dumped them into Focused.
Yeah.
I didn't. For Echoes of the Rebellion, I lucked out, and I already knocked something off my shopping list, and I was able to get the Bodhi Rook cron. Because, my guild's Divine Wisdom, many moon ago, they asked me to put Bodhi Rook to 9 for Rise of the Empire, for Empire. So I'm like, okay. All right, well, this is going to pay off a little bit.
Dude, that's a great cron, by the way.
It's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. So anyway, so we were talking about the Aphra. So yeah, then when you got the potency, so much potency. You're just
180. The 180% potency is nuts, because that immediately translates to additional offense for everybody else because of Aphra.
Yep. Pretty much. It's going to be gross. It's going to be absolutely.
I'd argue I haven't. So, and then the Boba Fett sign of Jango one. I was reading this earlier, and I have to skip down right to the level 15 because this just was. I was crying when I read this.
Oh yeah, on paper, this is like a dream team.
And then if at the start of the encounter there are no Empire Galactic Legends.
Gee, I wonder who. I wonder who that is. Christ, really?
I could not make it through this without laughing like I am now because it just is so much like we tried so hard and we realized that this was a duo against every Lord Vader team imaginable.
Well, I'm thinking they might have done a little bit of testing with some of these, and this team just destroyed Vader with max banners.
Oh, dude! I mean, the whole so down here 75% health, offense, instant defeat immunity, immunity to ability block, daze, healing immunity, shock, stun, turn meter reduction. Whenever he gains a stack of momentum, she gains turn meter, which that's not going to happen as much. And then at the start, dispel all foresight, makes him immune. If Fennec has 10 or more stacks of loyal hand, she inflicts death mark. I mean, dude. And that's just not, and that's not even all the stuff above it. That's just in that level 15.
Now, I mean, I get the Empire call out, but I mean, how often are we seeing Lord Vader on defense? It's, it's still Mandalorian food. It has so many different counters, but I guess.
I would wonder if the reason they did that is because I'm wondering if this was even beating Lord Vader with Apocron.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Because I'm just reading that, and it's that they gain the bounty hunter's resolve, lose that much protection, and then they gain grit. Well, grit would stop all damage over time, which is the biggest threat with that Lord Vader team when you don't have Grief Karga.
This Kron is going to be a nightmare against any team that has a revive mechanic.
What about, would this be able to take out Jabba?
It's immune to.
Does grit stop thermals or no?
No. You are immune to shock, stun, turn meter reduction, immune to ability block. I mean, I guess it's we'll have to wait and see. I'm just wondering if it's the good one, if it's the good Datacron they're using with all that extra damage and thermal detonators. I honestly don't know. The one thing that might save it is how much extra max health and offense this team is rocking with.
Yeah, like Boba Fett has 100% speed while he has fewer than 10 stacks of momentum. At the start of the encounter, he gains 3 stacks of Beskar armor. All enemies are inflicted with target lock until the end, which can't be resisted. Boba Fett's attacks ignore protection. So I'm thinking if you could snipe Leia at the start of a Jabba battle, that could be devastating.
And if you can get the payout right, because all bounty hunters have a payout, and then you happen to have OG Mando in there,
well, I think
you're disintegrating somebody.
Well, isn't the focus though? I was just reading at the end that it's the extra level is if Fennec is the only other ally.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
So you're missing all the extra bonuses there because she has is it her leadership or her unique? That is the whole thing about the where is it? I'm sure I've passed her already. Where's Bounty Hunters? I got too many damn characters.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Yeah, she gains to.
I'm trying to find the call out as to it has to be just her and
It's at the very end of the cron. Okay, yeah. So she wants Boba Fett in the leader slot.
Yeah.
If Boba Fett's in this bonus is doubled, and she starts the battle with Bounty Hunter's Resolve. Okay, yeah, right there. So she's even starting with Bounty Hunter's Resolve.
Yeah, no, the whole team is. Yeah.
So, Jesus. So yeah, I think that could kill Jabba. He's got 100% speed.
Jabba's getting shit on with this set.
Yeah, dude, good God. Bad.
Oh, that poor giant slug. Getting his ass kicked from one end of the holotable to the next.
He's turned into the new Jedi Master Kenobi, where every team for the longest time it was, oh well, this beats Jedi Master Kenobi now because nothing could touch him, and I feel like Jabba's getting close to that, where it's like everything. Oh yeah, this beats Jabba.
Mm-hmm. Now go ahead.
I was gonna say with this one, I'm also gonna say I'm not sleeping on that resistance pen. Because Fennec is special damage, and that is ridiculous for her.
Well, again, that's a big call out to her, especially with all the crit chance, her critting, and then that's just going to be when she does that trip kick, that's going to hurt. Mm-hmm. That is going to instantly defeat people.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, what's the next one you wanted to take a peek at?
Just kind of briefly, Hera. I think some people might sleep on this one a little bit. After going over it, this cron is actually, and I know a lot of people don't care about this mode, but this cron is actually going to be really good in TW, especially with the Omicron that Hera has.
Yes, I was.
So the amount of revives, it's just gonna. It's gonna be one of those teams that doesn't want to die.
And because she has Phoenix allies have an additional 30% counter chance, 50% max health, plus 30 speed. Whenever she uses backup plan, everybody gains it. The first time they gain, she gains turn meter. Whenever they use a special, they gain offense stacking until they're defeated, which is ridiculous. But the big thing that I noticed with that Datacron was at her level, or in the level 9. Yeah, the level 9. Whenever Phoenix allies target an ally with an ability during their turn, they both gain the defense, health, protection, offense stacking.
They do. Yep.
Hera has 2 abilities that target an ally between backup plan and the assist call. Doesn't Ezra have one as well, which he's called out in this one, so you're using Ezra there. Kanan has one. So right there, those 3 units all have a ability that will call out someone. And if you're using Captain Rex inside of that team, you're going to be able to reduce your cooldowns between Rex and Chopper so much that you're just going to be ramping to infinity.
Oh, yeah. And here I'm revisiting what the Omicron is for territory wars. So Phoenix allies have plus 30% counter chance, 50% max health, plus 30 speed. When Hera uses backup plan, all Phoenix allies gain backup plan for 3 turns. The first time each other Phoenix ally falls below 50% health, Hera gains 80% turn meter. Whenever a Phoenix ally uses a special ability, all Phoenix allies gain 10% offense stacking until they're defeated.
Dude,
so this team is going to ramp up very quickly.
Yes. And the other side of that is at the start of the encounter, Hera and Kanan both gain guard until they're defeated.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now again, this cron could be useful in GAC, but TW, if you have the Omicron, that's where this is really going to shine, and you could probably bring it up to level 9, and it would still do some work for you.
Yeah. I think that the level 9 for me, because you can get. Because I was even looking, you're going to get 20% offense if you even just took it to level 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the offense loading up to, I was looking at that and I'm like, man, I could go throw that. Light side allies gain 25% turn meter at the start. Give me 20% offense, 15% health. That's basically a level 9 Datacron for me.
It really is. It really is. Yeah.
But yeah.
So I don't think people should sleep on that one. I mean, again, it's such a big investment. So it's, It's up to you. You know, it's the one great thing about life. It's about choice.
And then the Zalbar one. Now, I think the Zalbar one, I'm going to say, I need to get this out now. This is one that you almost stop at level 3.
Yeah, I think this one is going to really kind of call out the Omicron that they gave him.
Yeah, for 3v3.
There is a potential. I know Zareth was saying this the other day. There is a potential that Juhani could be dealing out some damage just of how some of the mechanics of this Kron work. But again, we haven't needed Old Republic, not in high relics to unlock anything. So a lot of people have them, but they don't necessarily have good mods on them or have them in good relic levels. So of the entire set of 4, this is a skip. This is a hard pass for me, at least.
Yeah. I'm looking at it, if I was somebody who invested in that mission or the Zalbar Omicron and 3v3, if I'm in a lower level, this is your best investment in terms of the level 3.
Oh, I'm following all in chat. What's up, Egnards? He said hello.
Because at that point, you think the whole mission Zalbar thing was that she dies, and then it's an easy cleanup, right? Like, you could go sacrifice a team, and it's an easy cleanup. And now she's going to revive with 100% health, so now you've got to throw something good at this.
No, yeah, you do. 100%. Yeah. But for me, again, I'm not even gonna buy this one.
I don't know which one of these I will even buy, to be honest, because I just don't know that I can afford any of them.
It's at 10 grand. Honestly, I think they should have been with the cost it is to I know we're backtracking a little bit, but the cost it is to upgrade these things, they should have made them $5,000 a piece.
Yeah.
10 is just a little tough to swallow, man. Because say you're not buying that pass, right? For the episode thing, there's no way you can afford any of these things. There's God, I wish Egnards was on. He could probably crunch up some numbers, but I think there's no way. There's no way you'd be able to do it. I'm looking at the episode track right now. You get some currency as you go along, but that bonus track of the episode pass, that's a lot of currency.
Yeah, I'm looking at myself, right? Looking at the bonus track.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time when I get the currency, the first time I'd be able to outright buy one of those without any extra currency saved up is level 21, where you'd get 7,000 and 3,500.
Yeah. And again, rule of 2 in chat just said it best. You're sacrificing 4, if not maybe 5 level 9s for one of these. And in the beginning, that is so not worth it to me, because by the end of the second a new set drops, by the end of that first conquest, I want to have at least 20 crons minimal with 10 of them, at least half at level 9.
Yeah.
But if I buy one of these, what? I'm going to have 5, 6.
Oh,
I just.
Yeah, I completely. And the thing was, I was looking forward to buying these, and then I heard about the price that it cost to upgrade them, and I was like, all right, done. No. But then I saw the 10,000 episode, and that's when I backtracking the same, but that's when I really got pissed off, because I just think it's ridiculous. So if you're not
100% is, yeah.
If you're not a whale, you cannot afford to spend your episode currency on something like that. You just can't do it.
No, totally agree. It's again, the whales, the people at the tip of the spear are going to be all over this. But I bought 2 of them. I'm going to dabble a little bit. I'm going to not. Again, I only got one to level 4 and the other one to level 2 because I bought those early packs with the material. But once Conquest starts, I stick with my usual strategy. I haul ass to Sector 4 and then I start working crowns.
Yep.
because especially this conquest, like for let me see. So for Jocasta Nu, I'm sitting at 275 shards at 330. I can do bare minimum in this conquest and still unlock her. So basically, this conquest is going to be a cron fest. That's all I'm doing is crons.
So will you even max create this conquest? I guess you
No.
won't because of the. Oh,
No.
you won't?
No, there's no point. There's no point.
I was gonna ask even for like do you buy the episode pass or no, or the conquest pass?
I normally do. I won't this time.
Okay, I was curious because I was gonna ask him like because there's a lot of Datacron materials inside of that pass, so that's what I was gonna ask. Like, oh, you'll probably max create anyway.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I only need 55 shards of this tomb. That's it. That's all I need. So
see, I didn't buy any of her shards last conquest, so I still need 110. But I spent extra on signal data.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
But I'm gonna grab another beer. But
Go right ahead.
But why don't you start with this? You could start kind of talking about the stats from this set. 'Cause we were already talking about this a little bit, and we had some thoughts on what the stats are and why we think they're a little bit suspect.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Yeah, I'm just I don't understand whatsoever. So basically, folks, with this set, nothing has really changed. They took out offense and they added protection. That was it. It's literally the same secondaries. There's nothing fascinating here. There's there's nothing. Yeah, there's just nothing fascinating. It's there's crit chance, there's tenacity, there's protection, there's I actually don't have the stats up in front of me.
I've got them up on my.
Do you? Go.
Yeah. So you've got crit damage, potency, health, protection, crit chance, your favorite, armor pen, and tenacity.
Every time I roll and I get a crit chance, I want to scream.
Dude, there's nothing that pisses me off more than critical chance. I'd actually rather the tenacity than the critical chance.
I would rather have tenacity than crit chance as well. Yep.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yep. Yep.
But with these stats, and we'll talk about the level 3s too, as you guys will see, but with these stats, right away what I'm thinking is they are meant to benefit one team, and one team in particular, and that is the Ahsoka Tano team. Because they're all physical damage, which is benefits from critical damage, benefits from armor penetration, and she and her team all benefit from health and protection. So
isn't armor pen based off special damage?
Resistance pen is armor pen.
Resistance pen, okay.
But like they're all like so many of them it's physical damage, and armor pen, hello, like that's what they love. So I feel like they're really protecting Ahsoka with these stats again.
They are, which is weird because it's, at least in my experience in GAC this 5v5 season, it's been 50% Ahsoka with hippie Ezra on the team, or Ahsoka without hippie Ezra because he's over with Rey.
Yeah.
Now, if it's Ahsoka without Ezra, that team is actually quite manageable. I mean, you still got to throw something beefy at it, but it's manageable. The only other comp that I've seen that I'm actually going to try out, is my last opponent had it, and I was like, holy shit, that's gross, was putting Watt instead of Ezra. And then you get that tank tech goes to Ahsoka, and then she just becomes unkillable.
Dude, we faced a guild that did that to us in Territory Wars.
Ooh, how much fun was that?
I mean, fortunately, my guild, we don't care at all. Like, just to show you guys how little my guild cares about Territory War. I can go to our preview here. I'll just show you, like, so we have every zone we close off, right? Look, we didn't even clear a zone, but.
Oh, shit.
But here's our rogue actions, which you have to have a rogue action to do an attack, right?
Yeah, yeah.
look how many of us had zeros. We had look at all the zeros.
Yeah, because your guild's Discord probably went, guys. There's look at this team, this guild. There's no point.
Yeah, like we don't care about it, and we made that. I will say this: we made a very conscious decision. We voted on it as a guild, and we kind of said, listen, for us to care about territory wars, we need to care about Datacrons. We need to care about Omicrons. And that's a complete shift in what we do as a guild. And to even get to the point where we could be competitive to those other guilds will take so long that it's just not worth it at this point.
Oh, great. I mean, in my guild's Discord, we'll get a message saying, look, guys, this guild is just outrageous. Set defense, but take the night off. Like, okay, tell me twice.
Yep. Yeah, we're playing for second.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, with these Crons, man, I'm just, again, they're protecting Ahsoka. And honestly, too, I mean, they're giving Lord Vader some really good stats here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking at them. Because everybody will say, oh, well, they're good for a lot of the GLs. But I'm looking at them like, man, if you stack Lord Vader with protection, like that team is just unkillable at that point.
It does. It gets pretty beefy. It gets thick. And then I'm thinking about also here, you've got the new Bad Batch, which is, a little, it can be tricky to deal with. And then you add a 15-15 Cron on it, and it's going to be like, oh, gross.
Perfect segue to the level 3s, which, again, just babying Ahsoka completely. And we'll cover the two that are just like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. So you have at the start of their turn, light side allies have 25% chance to spell out debuffs. That's a skip.
Yeah, that's crap.
Light side allies start battle protection up. Normally that's okay. That's a scrap for me.
Yeah, I mean, if I re-rolled a couple times and that was my best option, I'd keep it. But I mean, it's not my first choice.
The first time a light side tank allies defeated, revive them with 100% health, reset their cooldowns, and they gain a bonus turn. You know who? That with Ahsoka. That might be the most annoying one with Ahsoka of you go and kill her and then you've got to kill her again.
Yeah. No, that could be that could be a problem.
I think but then we get to the two that I'm like, what the hell? You get the first time each light side allies defeated, remaining light side allies gain 15% offense and 20 speed stacking for the rest of the encounter. That's always annoying. Whether it's Rey, Ahsoka, Kenobi, Jedi Master Luke, Leia even. And you think, too, I'm thinking of Leia here for a sec. She can revive people with her ultimate.
Mm-hmm. So with this Cron, I would want to put this on a Saw lead with Luthen. Oh, because every time that rebel officer gets defeated, this is going to apply. And I don't care what the counter is, you cannot get through that team without having to kill that little bastard a couple times.
Yes, and because it counts as a unique ally each time, correct?
Yep. Yes, I believe it does.
Like that, I think you're right on that. That it's not like I think it's the same way with like the Geonosian Brood or something, that it doesn't count as like the same ally each time.
Right, because I think the key word is each ally. And the rebel commando is technically an ally. Now, go ahead.
I would say it's the first time each ally's defeated, so I'm just curious if that.
Oh, the first. That's right. So only happens the first time. Okay.
But I'm wondering if you're still right, because that rebel ally, it's like the wording is summon. So as long as it's not like you're defeated and that same one comes back to life. But if Luthen has to like summon it again, that might count as a new instance of that unit.
That's true. But this will also really shine under a Mothma lead as well.
Yes. Oh my God. And again, it's the first time they're defeated, remaining people gain that. But like I was saying with like Leia, if you kill, say, 2 characters, She,
Yeah.
the rest of the team gains the offense and the speed. She does the ultimate and brings them back. That's
Yeah,
the rest.
if the ATST kills anybody, they're all back. That's
So now you're dealing with the full team again, but 3 of them have the damn 15%, 45% offense and 60 extra speed.
yeah. And the last person that needs extra offense is Drogon.
Yeah. But then of course we've got our favorite 15 and 15.
Yeah, that's pretty much the winner for level 3s for me. I mean, I'd say priority wise, that's number 1. Number 2, I'm torn. I'm just screw it. The first time each ally is defeated, that would be mine for 2, and 3 whenever a tank ally is defeated. The others, meh. Christ, I don't roll either one.
Yeah, but to be fair, the all 3 of those are solid. Like the tank, the tank is probably the weakest of the other 2. But like if I got the 15% offense, 20 speed, I'm probably keeping that in case I get some of the other stuff that I'd rather reroll.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm okay leaving this. Where in the other set, I was not okay leaving it anything other than 15 and 15 at the start of battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then we get the dark side, which I gotta say, it's embarrassing how awful I feel these are compared to the light side one.
Yeah, there's really only 2 in here,
and they're not as good.
Maybe 3 that
but
I would.
There's nothing as good as 15 and 15.
No, and this may surprise you. The one that I like the most is because it happens with dark side teams a lot. Is whenever allies daze or stun an enemy, they recover 10% health and protection.
Oh my god, dude! I immediately went to Lord Vader with that.
Yeah, or a Sith Empire team.
Yep. Like they're just gonna. Ugh.
Or also Palpatine with Mara and Starkiller.
Yes, with the Rey team, because that Palpatine needs protection recovery in that team at times.
He really does. He's very squishy.
And then I'm even thinking too, somebody like Piet with the dazing and Scout Trooper too. He can
Scout
daze.
Trooper does that too. Yeah.
And Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. Yeah, man, holy shit! The more I'm like running through all these teams, I'm like, man, there's actually like, what's his name? Death Trooper.
Yeah, the best one of the 3, I think, is the recover 10 and 10.
Yeah,
10 health, 10 protection. I would go ahead.
I was gonna say after that, I'm going with the 2% max health damage. I feel like that is so good. For how many times you're dealing debuffs with these teams, to deal max health damage is just so good. Because all of us mod for health now.
That's true, and that's going to be really. That one is actually going to be really good on an Inquisitor team, because you got to think Purge is a buff, so everyone's getting 6 second the fight starts. And, I mean, Inquisitors just love spreading debuffs around. So,
or the Balin team, same. Although with Balin, I'm still using the last set and using the Mercenary level 6 anyway. But
yeah, with Balin, I've been that Hunter Cron with Balin has been a godsend on that team. It's just been absolutely devastating.
Yeah, that's what I'm using too.
Well, it's gross. It's a lot of fun.
But yeah, the other ones, the gain a buff, recover health and protection, that's not awful. Like, that's a usable, I'll keep that. Like, I won't feel like I need to re-roll that. I can keep that, and I can use that on some teams. The other and
also, I wouldn't say no to whenever they use a special ability, they gain evasion up, health steal up, and health up for 2 turns. I wouldn't. If I got it, I mean, it's not my first choice, but I wouldn't be like, bitching and moaning either.
Okay. Yeah, and then, I mean, the 3 debuffs that can be dispelled, tenacity up, I mean, that's just dog. Just like
that's crap.
Listen, CG, if you're listening, just delete that from, like, if you can't come up with 5 good Datacron levels, just delete the last one. Just stop.
Yeah, and I feel that one is more useful for light side teams anyway.
Yeah, yeah. How many light side teams are dealing that many debuffs?
Not too many.
Yeah. So then we have our factions here. So we have the Sith faction first, right? We'll start with Sith. We'll work our way down here. So, again, I feel like there's this simple, like, normally you want to go with the wordier cron, but I'd actually argue that whenever an enemy is defeated by a Sith, they can't be revived is arguably the most important here.
Yeah, I was actually probably thinking, because to be 100% honest, they're not that great. I mean, whenever an ally falls below 100% health, they get a bonus turn. That's not bad, but might get you out of a jam.
But it's once per battle, so like
I know. Yeah. So no, I would go with probably top dog here is whenever an enemy is defeated, the enemy can't be revived, because there's just a lot of different teams that have revive mechanics now. So it's that's pretty useful. And especially if you put that, like, say, with Treya, I mean, you're already going to get an insta kill from Nihilus anyway. So,
yeah, and there's a bunch of times that you're like, okay, I can't target X because I don't want them to come back. I need to wait for Nihilus to get that turn.
Yep.
Now you don't got to worry.
Yep. Let's see. Whenever allies are stunned, I mean, 50% turn meter, recover 25 health and protection. Not bad, but I mean, it does happen. But when you're in GAC, you're trying to attack, quickly and furiously, and you don't want to be stunned at all. So you're trying to avoid that. The last one, whenever allies critically hit an enemy during their turn, that ally gains 10% offense stacking for 2 turns. I would have preferred if that had been gains 10% offense stacking until the end of battle.
Yeah, because with Bane, if you can do the swipe and then the life drain or whatever the hell he calls it, that can just ruin the enemy team at that point.
Yeah, so that one's gonna be really good for Bane, actually.
Yeah. Because Bane already can. I'm thinking the revive one is nice for some of those teams that can't prevent the revives. And then the characters like Bane, who he does already, it's not a big deal.
Right, yeah.
So then we get to Rebel Fighters, which I feel like Rebel Fighters kind of shine with this team.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love it when Rebel Fighter crowns come out because they're a fun team to use.
And I kind of picked out 2 that I really like here. And I'm sure I hope you agree.
Go right ahead.
The second one is the inflicted debuff on the enemy, and they deal bonus damage equal to 10% of their max health. I mean, that's insane. And when you're using Saw Gerrera, who's dealing how many debuffs to the enemy team, that's a stupid amount of damage.
That is the one I wanted from my Bodhi Rookron, and I'm already at pretty much the max of rerolls, and I just didn't get it.
Of course not.
Nope.
And the second one that I would say I like is when they grant a buff to another ally, they gain 10% turn meter.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 that I think are I personally feel are worth keeping. Because I'm wondering if the turn meter cron is better for defense. Because if you can run a turn meter train against the opponents, it's not gonna matter. Right? Like, if you can... Well,
yeah, like, for instance, you're really going to want that, especially for Bodhi Rook, considering that whenever a Rebel Fighter ally gains or loses turn meter, they're also gaining health and protection for whatever was lost.
Yeah.
Or gained. So that's just going to... So not only is it a turn meter train, but your team is just going to stay healthy consistently, which is going to be really good for max banners.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going back and forth on. I think they'll be good against different counters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the debuff one will actually be really, really good against General Skywalker. Because that's one of those... It's not great banners, but it's consistent enough that you're going to be able to kill the enemy team with nobody left alive because you've ramped so much offense from buffs.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Yep.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty good.
No, I always enjoy Rebel fighters. That's for sure.
I don't know that any of the rest of those are worth it, though. Like, whenever they defeat an enemy, they take a bonus turn. I don't know. That's
You're taking so many turns as it is. I mean, what is that really doing for you?
When they're revived, they recover protection and turn meter, reduce their cooldowns. I mean,
that's the level 6 I have in my Rook, and I'm not happy with it.
And then when they attack out of turn, they have a 25% chance to remove 10% turn meter. I mean, it's nice, but I'm thinking of like, if I see that Datacron on somebody, I'm just gonna take Kylo on like solo, and just bring him and Rey, and then it'll be, 68th banner win for removing all of my turn meter. Like,
no, absolutely, yeah.
So I think for the fighters though, you're right. The health, turn meter, and we move there. So you have the Bad Batch, and this is an interesting. Like, I'm kind of nervous here because I feel like, depending on which version of the Bad Batch you're using, this could change.
Yeah, no, it could. And now that we have, and again, you got to be really specific on what you get and what secondaries you want to be, because obviously we only have 2 Bad Batch teams, and some people like to split them up. Like right now, some people are still using the 2 mercenaries with Balin. So it's yeah.
So the first one is Bad Batch can ignore taunt to target an enemy that was damaged previously by a Bad Batch ally on their turn. Whenever an ally is defeated, dispel stealth from the strongest ally. They gain 200% defense for 2 turns and recover 100% health and protection. Now, do you have the new Bad Batch?
I do.
Does that defeated, is that going to trigger when they enter that, like, I forget what the hell they call it, that, like, escape mode? Like, does that get triggered by this? Because that's the only thing I was thinking of, is, like, that could be... I mean, this first sentence is good enough. The ignore taunt on an enemy that was previously damaged. Like, that's perfect. Right? That's fine. But I was curious if that defeated thing, if they're in that, like, escape, whatever mode that's called, capture or captive, if that gets triggered by this, that's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, which one was this again? This was whose? Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm in. That's why I wasn't seeing it. I was in characters. Okay, so Bad Batch ignore taunt. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
No, I think they have to be defeated. So I don't know how good this would be on the new Bad Batch.
Except for the ignore taunt aspect.
Right.
But then the next one, whenever they recover health, they recover protection equal to the amount of health recovered. They can't recover protection this way more than once per turn, or if their health was full. I mean, that's always great. It's one of those where in the original Bad Batch, I feel like that could be helpful more than the new one, because I don't know that the new one, I don't know. Maybe I read that more. They can't They can't do it if their health was full. To me, that's
really, these 2 are the kind of the only 2 for Bad Batch that I would want to be shooting for.
Yeah,
like the other one, like whenever an ally is critically hit, they gain 100% crit avoidance and 100% critical chance for 2 turns. I'm just like, oh yay, okay.
If my Bad Batch is getting critically hit, like, I'm cooked.
Yeah,
and you're cooked.
Yeah, and I hate this one, and they always hang this one around. Start their turn with at least 2 debuffs that can be dispelled. They have a 65% chance to dispel all debuffs on themselves. It's just, I mean, 65% isn't horrible, but it's not great either.
Yeah, that's like isn't that JTR's unique ability or something?
Yeah.
But it's like it works 65% of the time, 100% of the time.
You're right.
And then the first 50% health, they fall below that. They reduce their cooldowns, gain. I've never liked this one. I feel like the 10%
boring.
turn meter is so bad. Like that is so bad.
No, it is. It's boring. It's boring. It's horrendous. Yeah.
So yeah, I think for Bad Batch, those first two, I don't think. I'd personally say that Ignore Taunt is better from the perspective that both teams have AoE attacks that you could spam in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me looking at that. Outside looking in, and then
Absolutely.
we get to this, and then we get to the Separatist, which I'm gonna say, I'm kind of excited for some of the Separatist stuff in here.
There's some decent stuff in here.
Yeah. So whenever they use a special, they gain riposte. That has to be the best, in my opinion. With that Separatist team, there's a lot of attacks out of turn. That riposte is so damn good.
I'm gonna agree with you, but there's one other here that I think is going to be specifically called out to one other team, and that's whenever an ally deals damage to an enemy and no other enemy is blinded, inflict blind for 2 turns on the enemy, which can't be resisted. Now, if you think about how often that goddamn droid is doing AoE attacks and then the flying platform and its AoE, you're just going to be spreading. I mean, because almost everybody in that team is an AoE. So you're going to be spreading blind everywhere on a Grievous team.
Well, it says if no other enemy's blinded. So if somebody's blinded, you're not going to spread it again, correct?
Whenever an ally deals damage to an enemy and no other enemy is blinded. No, you may be right. I must have read that wrong. I swear to God, I thought that spread blind around a lot more.
I mean, it might be bugged, and it probably does, and they just have never changed their wording. But,
That'd be nice. So then, no, riposte, or as Bob says, riposte, or however the hell he pronounces it. Yeah, that's not bad. The damage immunity one isn't horrible either.
Yeah, I would agree.
Sometimes that's kind of all you need, especially with like a Admiral Trench team for Watt to revive some people.
Yes. Yeah, I think the defense pen offense up, that's such a waste.
Yeah.
And they recover 50% protection if they inflicted 5 debuffs that term. Like, again, it's so inflicting 5 debuffs is an insane ask. There's not that many characters that can do that.
No, it's really that's so hard. Like Inquisitors, Lord Vader with Vader, it's that's hard.
Yeah, so I think you're looking at that riposte. There's enough attacks out of turns between those Separatist teams. And remember, like, Geonosians count as Separatists.
Yes, they do.
And all they do is attack out of turn. So if you're ever, like, if you've got the Geonosian Lightspeed bundle and your guild is like, oh, yeah, we've all got Pogglecrons, you got to think, like, everybody here, think outside the box with Datacrons sometimes. Like, just go through that thought process of like, hey, Geos, all they do is attack out of turn. If I can give them riposte, I'm going to destroy people and they're not going to know what's hitting them.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, God, in TW, we're going to be seeing walls of Geos again. Fuck. Ugh. I don't like that Pogglecron to begin with.
Yeah. So then we have the character crons.
Here we go. Well, there's some good ones in here, and then there's some absolute shit.
Yeah. So Saw Gerrera, whenever an ally is defeated, he takes a bonus turn, and all cooldowns are reset. That's actually solid. Again, assuming the Rebel commander counts as an ally, that's great. Because he spreads that blind.
Yeah.
And removes turn meter, which is so annoying, and then you get a chance to, remove more turn meter, gain turn meter, whatever the hell is going to happen. It's very simple, yet I feel it's effective.
Yeah, for Rebel fighters, Saw is good. I really want the Mothma one. Whenever she uses a basic ability on their turn, other allies gain 25% turn meter. That's going to be nice, keeping that turn meter train going.
Yeah, especially with like Pal, Kyle going into like the OG fighter team. Yep. I would agree. And then sticking with this faction, you've got your Bodhi Rookron. I'll let you read the Bodhi Rook.
Love it. If the allied leader is Rebel fighter, and which honestly it has to be Saw Gerrera. Has to be.
Yep. Yes.
Whenever a Rebel fighter ally gains or loses turn meter or a bonus turn, they recover that much health and protection. Whenever an enemy loses turn meter, they take 10% of their max health as true damage. Whenever Bodhi Rook uses his basic ability, the target enemy loses 30% turn meter, which can't be resisted. If Bodhi Rook is defeated while another rebel fighter ally is active, he revives with 50% health and takes a bonus turn.
Jesus.
And let's see. In GAC, I'm actually looking at what my opponent did. And my Saw Gerrera team with Bodhi actually got a hold. It was Saw. Yep. It was Saw, Bodhi, Kyle Katarn, Captain Rex, and Luthen.
That's such a disgusting team, actually.
Yeah, because Captain Rex with all those goddamn debuffs, it cripples your team. And then Luthen just constantly has that damn Rebel Commando going, and then Kyle Katarn is just picking you apart. Bodhi's removing your turn meter, which is healing everybody. It's a vicious cycle of nonsense.
And with Captain Rex, you've got the days and like offense down.
Yeah.
And somebody in chat said this. I've been trying to read the chat and respond. Wouldn't this cook with Mon Mothma and Scarith Rebel Pathfinder? No, because Mon Mothma is not a Rebel fighter.
Yeah, no, that's the big problem with this Bodhi Rook one, is that it pretty much he exclusively is going to Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, this doesn't even work with Admiral Raddus.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. So it's weird. The other thing I want to do, like, let's say I get the Mothmacron, or I'm going to have to try to split up this Rebel team a little bit, because I don't know if I would want Kyle Katarn with Saw, because he is so good with Mon Mothma. So, but we'll see how the meta unfolds. We'll see what happens. But for Rebel fighters, Cassian Andor, Christ, I know I'm going to roll at least 2 of those, and I'm going to be like, God damn it.
Dude, yeah, whenever he inflicts a debuff, recover 25% max health and protection. Like, I just ignore Cassian. Like, he just... This one and the Luthen one. Again, Luthen has 5% max health and protection per relic amplifier level, and the damage they receive is decreased by 15%.
Now, just with how resilient he is.
But you can't even target him, so what's the point?
You can't. You really can't.
Like, if you switched... This is the thing. If they switched Luthen and Saw Gerrera's, I would be more than okay, and I'd say that that's actually very good for both characters. Like, with Saw Gerrera, now you can't kill him as much. That's ridiculous at that point, because you try to kill him early, at least. I've always tried to do that.
Yeah.
And then with Luthen, if you're going to give him bonus turns and his cooldowns are reset, I mean, that to me is where, like, you've got to think that Luthen does not need extra max health and protection. He doesn't get targeted, so it doesn't matter.
True. Yeah. No, yeah, so, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
So let's go to Sith now, right? And
good old Sith.
So whenever Darth Scion critically hits an enemy, he gains 10% crit damage, defense pen, and offense stacking until the end of battle. I actually like this one a lot. Because he hits, for his team, he hits hard.
Yeah. I mean, it's just... God, I'd have to check my mods on Scion. I don't even know if they're that really all that great anymore.
Oh, mine are ass. My mods are
Yeah.
ass, man.
Yeah, it's just how often is he getting critical hits? I know on his basic he does. I know on his level 3, his AOE I don't think crits. At least I don't remember if it does or not. I know it's a mass dispel, but
Yeah, because he can. I feel like I critically hit with that a good bit. He deals. I will say for a tank, he does a decent bit of damage.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
And in 3v3, you could put. I mean, he's versatile. You could put him anywhere. I mean, he's a very reliable tank. He has a revive mechanic, so it's not a bad one.
Yeah, but then we get the Sith assassin, which why is this a? It's just this is a waste.
You know where my Sith assassin goes? Next to Bane, so she can die. That's basically it.
I don't even put her there.
Well, because I was all into the fleet meta when Leviathan first came out. I was one of the stupid fools that put his Sith assassin to Relic 9.
Oh, okay.
So, and we all know the higher the relic level on Bane's companion, the harder he hits. So,
yeah. May God have mercy on your soul, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Pretty much.
So then we get the Sidious Kron is back. I'm so excited it's back here. So I loved this Kron. This is one of the most fun Datacrons to use in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Just spamming. This is the one. This is what you chase for Sith. This is the one you chase. This turns him into the solo that kills everything.
They made one minor tweak to this though.
Oh, they did?
Is a little upsetting.
Where?
Yep. He can't ignore taunt anymore.
Oh.
He could ignore taunt, and in this one he can't.
But does he still get the Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Oh no, never mind. That was for scoundrels. Does he still reduce his cooldowns? Yeah, he reduces his cooldown, so you're just gonna spam the AOE. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, just it was, with being able to ignore taunt, it made the fight really efficient. Like you could just pick and choose who you wanted to not, what was the greatest threat on any team, because obviously he's going in alone. So It's like, yeah. So that was the only thing that they changed that I kind of was like eyebrow raising going, really? Was that necessary? Now I'm going to have to remod him again, which sucks because other than having a Kron, I never used him anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I like I'm glad it's back. It's a fun Kron to use. I think it's a very player-friendly Kron too. That's the nice thing.
Yeah. I do like Talons.
Yeah, Talons is definitely good. I
think that would be really good under a Trey lead, because a lot of the times you want to kind of use Talon with Trey anyway to get that little boost in speed.
Yep.
So, I mean, being able to inflict fear on with that team is quite nice.
Yeah, as long as you're using it against the right kind of team. But yeah, I feel like the fear here. Yeah, the only thing I'm thinking of is if I saw this on defense, if you have fear, it opens up Balin being able to do some funny things to you.
Yeah.
But this is I feel like Trey is an offense team now and has been an offense team for forever at this point.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I like the fear. And then you get to Palpatine.
Oof. This is going to be nice, especially with a Star Killer.
Yeah. So whenever he stuns an enemy, he gains 10% crit damage, stacking to 200%, and 5 speed stacking to 50 until the end of the encounter. And the biggest problem this guy has is he's slow, and he doesn't hit hard enough.
No, he doesn't. He'll shock the shit out of you, but he's not doing much more than that.
Yeah, yep. I think this is again similar to there's that one. What's the one Sith? Was it this dark side? When they stun an enemy, they recover health and protection, and then When a Sith, yeah, and this is when a enemy's defeated by Sith, they can't be revived. You put that on Palpatine, and you kill Ben. Right?
Yeah.
Now he's not coming back anymore.
That's true.
That's gonna be. I feel like that's gonna be really, really slept on for people. Is him being able to do that. Because that's the most annoying thing is you kill Palpatine or you kill Ben with Palpatine and then he keeps coming back.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps coming back. So yeah, I think the Palpatine one very, very solid too. I wouldn't sleep on it either.
No, not at all.
So then it's
Palpatine I would definitely I wouldn't be upset if I got it.
Then you get Wrecker Mercenary, which I don't know. I feel like for Bad Batch, there's like 2 that you want, right? And it's when he loses taunt, you remove turn meter. I don't care, right? I don't know. That's just not good enough. The Crosshair one is interesting.
No, I do like Crosshair. I was finding Crosshair a little frustrating to use, so I was messing with my mods, which I do every day. And one thing, let me look it up here. I was able to get, where's my Bad Batch. There they are. Now for Crosshair, the one thing that I found that's working is that instead of a speed for the primary for his arrow, he's got 30% accuracy. And my secondary speed is at level 5. It's 25. So I'm really not missing out on a lot of speed, but I'm gaining 30% more accuracy. So yeah, while he's going to continue to lose stacks of shaken, he's going to start hitting a lot sooner.
Yes.
Because those misses, dude, that is frustrating. That is so frustrating.
During the Marquee event, I was getting pissed off. I can't imagine after I've invested relics into him and he's still missing.
It was disheartening. Really, you're like, this character sucks. What's the point? He can't hit anything. But the fight goes on, and then he does his main attack, the target secured. Man, that hurts.
And the thing is, when he doesn't score a critical hit, that's gonna count when he misses somebody.
Yes.
Which is like Stormtrooper, where it's like if Stormtrooper doesn't critically hit, they inflict expose. And it's like, oh, well, they dodged the attack. You landed expose. Like that. So I like that buff immunity because buff immunity is one of the most debilitating debuffs in this game.
It really is. It cripples you.
Yeah. It like of all of them, you're like, oh, well, it only stops you from gaining buffs. And it's like, do you know how often you gain buffs in this game?
Oh, I mean, taunt.
Like everything is about buffs.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So no, I do like. I actually found Batcher to be pretty interesting. Batcher is immune to daze and stun. Whenever Batcher damages an enemy, she removes 50% turn meter from them and gains that much turn meter.
Oh.
Yeah. If there are no galactic legends, enemies can't gain bonus turn meter.
Oh.
And whenever another Bad Batch ally is inflicted with captive, reset the cooldowns of Batcher's abilities. She dispels all debuffs on her, and she takes a bonus turn.
Oh my god!
I like. In fact, I think I like that one more than Crosshair, to be honest.
I would agree. I didn't see I hadn't read the whole. If no galactic legends, enemies can't gain bonus turn meter.
Mm-hmm.
That's more debilitating than the Hux, because at least Hux, you can stop him from getting advantage. There's nothing you can do with this.
Yeah.
Can't gain bonus turn meter. Oh.
So you can, like, if you have that and you want to save this team for offense, you just look at the board. You see a team that's turn meter heavy and bang, you're going in with a serious advantage already.
Yeah.
Omega Fugitive, no. That's so dull.
Yep. Yeah, like, that's
really?
Don't even.
I mean, both of Omegas are just absolutely terrible.
Yeah, both Omegas are trash. The tech one, I don't hate the tech one. At the end of his turns, reset their cooldowns. You lose health for each ability that was reduced, but you could spam his AoE.
That is true. That is true. And, depending on your potency setting, you're going to be doing a lot of stuns.
Yes.
Actually, yeah, you're right. That could be useful. That could be useful for OG Bad Batch, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's the OG Bad Batch Cron. And I think and Batcher's the one you're chasing for the new one.
Yeah, so Batcher I'm going to want. Tech I want. I wouldn't say no to Crosshair, but the rest I'm going to cry.
Yes. Yeah. Any Omega one, I'm crying.
Oh, God. I'll probably roll 2 of those as well. Oh, God damn it.
So then we get the Separatists, which I feel like these, again, Trench I'm skipping. Right? Yeah. It's not the good.
This is so bad. It's so bad.
It's not the good one, which pisses me off. Then you get to Dooku, which this one is.
This is gross. This is under a Trench lead. This team with the full complement with Watt and everybody else. This is going to be rough.
So Dooku has 200% critical chance and damage while he's inflicted with a debuff. Whenever a Separatist ally uses a special, Count Dooku assists and dispels all buffs on the target enemy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Combine that with Riposte and jeez. At the end of his turn, he's inflicted with Disarm. Whenever Count Dooku takes damage during his turn, the weakest enemy is dealt 200% of that damage, which can't defeat them. The only thing I don't like about this is Disarm. But is the 200% crit damage going to be enough to offset Disarm?
That's kind of what I was wondering. It might. I mean, I think the other thing because again, he's going to be constantly counterattacking, and every time he does, he gains protection back. And Dooku is one of those targets on that team that you want to get out of there, because not only is he regaining protection on his basic, but he also has the chance to stun you, which is a complete pain in the ass. So,
I'm looking at Disarm, minus 50% critical damage and offense. So you're losing.
So that's why it's 200% crit chance and crit damage, because it's while you're losing 50%, you're still So he's still going to be hitting like a truck.
But he's missing 50% offense as well.
Right.
That he's not gaining, and that I don't think he's gaining back. But you're offsetting that with extra, if he takes damage, he's going to offset that with damage back to you. So I think it probably evens itself out.
I think it does too. Yeah.
So then you get Grievous, which
dude, this is I am pretty much going to completely remod my General Grievous. You don't even need him fast. You just need him to have the largest health pool possible and let him kill people.
The thing that's crazy is I was like, oh, I see a General Grievous one. I'm like, I don't know why, like the Droidcron exists. But then I read this.
I know.
And then I read it and I'm like, oh my God, this is, again, combine this with Riposte and it's disgusting. And I mean, just, throw General Grievous with Geonosians. Right? Like,
yeah.
That is just, it's nuts. And he's going to deal 50% more damage. I mean, that is a disgusting, disgusting Datacron.
Oh, it really is.
And then we get Newt, which I don't hate the 15% turn meter when other allies use a special, but I think I'm skipping that in favor of something else.
Okay.
And then I think I would skip it in favor. And then Watt, whenever he's dealt damage, reflect 20% of that back onto the attacker as true damage. It's one of those where it's fine, but I feel like I ignore Watt. I'm not targeting him.
Yeah, and well, I don't know. I've that team has come back to bite me in the ass if I haven't taken care of Watt, because then Trench gets revived and you're like, God damn it. And it can, you're like, really, I should have dealt with you sooner. But no, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I would definitely, I would skip Watt. Newt Gunrays is pretty much trash.
And then Poggle. Ugh.
Again, you're gonna start seeing you're gonna be seeing walls of separatists and or fucking Geonosians and TW again.
When he attacks out of turn, they gain a stack of heal over time and protection over time for 2 turns, and they inflict target enemy with protection disruption for 1 turn.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the protection disruption, I'd skip. But the fact that it's the whole team is going to have protection disruption.
Yeah. Yep.
And then,
but again, do you have your Geos in a position to be using them in GAC? I don't. Yeah, I mean, they're relics, but their mods are probably out to pasture.
But the other thing is, you don't really need that one if you're going to use Riposte.
Right. Yeah.
So that's an interesting thing there of like, I don't know how good that is, because if you get the Riposte Cron, you don't need Poggle.
Mm-hmm.
But
so for Separatists, definitely Count Dooku, General Grievous. That's just going to be. I mean, literally, I was just checking my Grievous health pool, and it's like it's getting. I'm going to work on it some more, but it's getting close to 170k. So, and that with dealing 50% more damage, you are literally, if you have your Grievous modded right, he's going to assassinate people. Like, how much people are going to die. and when he does his AoE, oh my god, it's just utter destruction.
And you can get health percent on this set.
Oh. Yeah.
Christ above.
Yep. So hopefully your rolls you get a Separatist Cron, the rolls are good, you get Grievous, and then kind of go back into the secondaries and start health hunting.
Yeah. Yep. I think this set for me, as much as I like some of the stats, I feel that there's enough of an array of good ones. That, like, there's 3 that you're kind of, I don't want to say avoiding. There's 3 that I'm kind of avoiding. The tenacity, the potency, and the crit chance. But
yeah, those are the 3 that I'm just going to be like, really?
But to have health, protection, armor pen, and critical damage all together, like, that's just so good.
Well, that's why when they took out offense and added protection, I mean, yeah, everybody loves offense, but protection isn't bad. There's lots of teams out there because, I mean, you can make Jedi Master Luke incredibly thick with a lot of protection. And that team can get absolutely obnoxious if Jedi Master Luke is, stuffed to the gills with protection. So, yeah. So I think we had one more little bonus one to kind of just read up on real quick, and that was it.
All right.
It was the Apo.
Oh, Apo. Saved it for the end. I like it.
Yeah.
I can go into my opponent in GAC and go click on his Apo Cron.
That's crazy. I don't, with the new marquee event the way it is, and the fact that these clones, you're only getting one. You don't know how good it's going to be till you get them all, and they're all with Vader. So I'm like, I can wait. I'll get it to 6-star and then collect the shards, throughout the days of the event. As long as you can get it to 7-star before the end, you get the crown.
Yep.
So whenever a debuff on an enemy expires, allies gain 2% potency and tenacity until the end of battle. And man, debuffs are expiring from that team constantly.
All the time.
Yeah.
And you can't re-roll that Cron, correct?
No. Well, you can, but would you want to?
No, I'm looking. I have it pulled up here. That's the only level 6 that you can get on that Cron.
Okay.
The level 3 can change.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Good to know. But the level 6 is always that 2% potency and tenacity. So
okay.
So your level 3s. Oh yeah, that's interesting because they can stun too. So I feel like you want the daze and stun.
Yeah, that's. I was just going back to look. You want allies daze or stun enemy. They recover 10% health and protection. So yeah.
And then the level 9, Logan, read it off.
Oh God. If the allied leader is Lord Vader and all their allies are Empire, the conditions requiring all other allies to be dark side clone troopers for Apo's Vader's Fist unique ability are considered met. Whenever an enemy dispels any amount of damage over time, Apo gains a stack of Operation Nightfall for each enemy that had a stack of damage over time dispelled, and he inflicts Order 66 on a random enemy that had a stack of damage over time dispelled for 1 turn, which can't be copied, dispelled, evaded, or resisted. At the start of each dark side clone trooper's turn, all allies gain 10% defense penetration stacking and offense stacking for 1 turn for each stack of Operation Nightfall on Apo. That's
disgusting.
That's
That is disgusting. And this is still, I think it's bugged. I don't know if they fixed it. That it's not operating correctly with the whole, if you're bringing other Empire allies, it's not activating. But I think everybody has seen that Lord Vader and Apo duoed a Jedi Master Kenobi team.
Okay.
Which is just stupid, ridiculous. I mean, it's awesome, but that's insane.
Yeah, the Order 66 of immune to buffs and can't be revived if defeated. That's just...
There's a lot of anti-revive synergy lately.
Yeah, there has been. Well, because more and more teams are doing it now, and it's becoming more common. So to balance things out,
because I'm thinking of like Ezra with the damn backup plan. That's gonna kind of put an end to that. But this team, man,
yeah,
I'm very curious to see how good this team is with all the clones.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait. I'm so looking forward to seeing GL Vader with nothing but clones with him. That's gonna be, I think it's gonna put him back on the map. I don't think he's gonna be able to be called Lord Failure anymore. And I think it's a win because it's gonna put Maul back to where he belongs with Mandos.
Oh yeah, that's it, and that's a whole nother thing of got to remod your Maul now for sitting in Mandos instead of Lord Vader.
Yeah, you really do. You really do.
So, man,
all right,
what do you got for us here? Kind of closing it out.
Well, again, if you're hardcore on Datacrons, hopefully this helped you out. We went over the level 3s, what we think is good, the level 6s, and the characters. Focus Datacrons, I mean, they're here, but engage at your own peril. I don't think the cost of these and everything is going to be permanent. I think CG is going to be monitoring very closely the engagement with these things, and if it's slim to none or not much at all, they're going to have to make some adjustments. And hopefully those adjustments benefit the player base, because it's for a lot of mid-game players and free-to-play, this is not even... If you're free-to-play, don't even bother with these.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
don't even bother. If you spend a little bit, you dabble here and there, you spend, what, $40 a month?
20,
I would still leave them alone. I'd still leave them alone. I mean, if you want to buy one, you got the currency, you want to throw a couple levels into it, because you don't have to, there's not a mod restriction on them.
Yes.
So, which is good. That's good. I guess that's one plus to it. But other than that, again, I'm one of the 3 members of Scoundrels in the Cantina. You can catch us every Thursday, 8:30 Eastern time, for booze, banter, and nonsense, all about Swigo. And then I sometimes hop on to Hutt's Hangout Saturday mornings, and I try to stream GAC here and there when my wife lets me sit in front of my computer.
Dude,
she's the boss.
I feel that so much. I feel that, man. But,
I love it when they do GAC on a Friday. I'm like, so, hey, babe, so no. Like, all right, fine. All right. Yeah, let me guess. couch and a movie. Yeah. Like, okay.
I always laugh because my wife, she has her wedding planning business, and so she's always doing weddings on like a Saturday. And so
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I could stream my GAC. Nope, I can't because she's home Friday night and she's home Sunday night, so I can't stream Saturday. Like,
Yep. I feel your pain. There's been some times where, and not only that, but sometimes the wife and I just have plans, and you know, it's I try to do some of my GAC at when I'm at work, you know, on a break or lunch or whatnot. I do a battle here, do a battle there. My opponents probably hate me because it takes me all day to finish it. They're like, Jesus Christ, will you hurry up?
Dude, I've been doing that more and more. I've been a lot more successful with it, so I can't say that it's not working. But it's definitely got to be annoying.
Yeah, but I feel like you do a couple battles, you step away for a minute. Take a break. Come back, look at the board again. Maybe you'll have a different idea, a different approach. You never know. You never know. But it is about 10:30. I've got to get to bed because tomorrow is going to be late because it's scoundrel time.
No, man, I appreciate you hopping on.
No, Fat Phil, thank you very much for having me on, man. I always look forward to doing this segment with you. And you and I will be, you know, keep in touch in Discord on how the crons are working and what our experiences are. And yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on again very much. Thank you.
Course,
and
man.
Thank you, everybody in chat.
Yeah, guys, you guys did great. We will see you all in the next Datacron episode, and then go check out Scoundrels tomorrow.